so sunny out today. First of all, yes, I have blonde hair at the moment. It's very temporary. I did it myself. There's a couple little spots that I missed, as you can see here, so I need to fix that first. And then I'm dyeing over it. I'm not gonna have this orangey blonde hair for long with this green at the bottom that just won't get out. I finished my first semester at college. And I guess it's not a huge deal, but it's a milestone for me. And I thought there are a lot of things about college that I feel like I didn't really think about, or things I feel no one really emphasized to me that I felt like I should talk about. And I'm also sorry about the weird lighting situation. It's like an insanely sunny day, and I feel like cloudy days tend to work better for filming in front of my window because it's not like this weird shining. But yeah, we'll do what we can, I guess. Okay, the sun's actually crazy, so we're gonna have to improvise right now. Let me find a new place to film because I can't really do it in front of my window unless I want like really, really intense shining. So the sun was not working with me, so I'm gonna be sitting in this chair with the blinds closed so that the sun does not get in the way of my video anymore. The sun's evil. I have some little tips and whatever, things that I feel like I didn't really go into college knowing about or really thinking about. Just all of that I'm going to be talking about today. And hopefully the sun does not get in the way of the video. Put my curtains up. Like that. There we go. So the first thing on my little list here, I made notes. I came prepared for this video. So I feel like I personally had the misconception that when I go into college, all of my classes are just gonna gut me. Like, my English class is gonna be hard, my math class is gonna be hard, my biology class is gonna be hard. I'm a bio major, by the way, if that clarifies anything. But that's not always the case. In most cases, you will find some classes pretty easy and some classes really hard, or semi-hard, or challenging. It depends on your strengths and weaknesses. I wasn't really prepared for that. I was not prepared to just glide through my English class and glide through my psychology class. Those were the two classes I found, like, incredibly easy, by the way. So, like, there will be different classes that you'll just find so easy. And it doesn't even have anything to do necessarily with your strengths or weaknesses in high school, or your strengths and weaknesses all your life. A lot of it has to do with how easy the professor is. Some professors will hardly ever give assignments. They'll just make the class really easy. They'll make all their tests take home. And it doesn't really require as much effort from you compared to the effort required in other classes. So, my solution for that is sit down for a sec, take a piece of paper, write down all your classes, and rate the level of difficulty or effort each class takes, in your opinion, just for you personally. How much effort does each class take? I personally do this on a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being like a piece of cake, 2 being like, yeah, I have to work a bit, but it's not killing me, and then 3 being like, this is the most difficult class I've ever taken, and I'm dying. And then next, once you're done with all of that, a certain number of hours that you think is practical to each class for, like, studying for that class each week. Okay, so number 2. Whoo! I feel like I was kidding myself when I went into college. You're not gonna have time to do everything you want to do. It's just not gonna happen. Unless your major is, like, the easiest thing ever in, like, high school. In that case, maybe you have time to do everything you liked doing in high school, but in most cases, it's not like that. So in this case, you gotta prioritize, which means just basically cut out stuff that you don't really think is a priority to do during the semester, and leave in stuff that is a lot more important to you. For example, for me, the most important things for me are probably hanging out with friends so that I'm not lonely and depressed in my room by myself. Yeah. I like to play video games online with my friends. That's another form of socialization, but I like to read manga. I like to watch anime. I like art, whatnot, all of that. And I had to cut out certain things that I felt weren't as important to me anymore. I remember I was also trying to familiarize myself with Japanese and try and learn a little bit of it. I just completely dropped that because I thought, learning a language is very time consuming and I should just, let that go. Not saying you can't learn a language while you're in college. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you have to prioritize. If you want to learn a language in college, great. But it means you'd probably have to cut out other things. And I personally made the choice to stop thinking about learning Japanese or practicing or anything. I used to have little apps where I would practice. And I just stopped doing that because I realized that I have to prioritize and things that are more important to me, like getting out of bronze in Overwatch. Okay, and the third tip, which I feel like isn't something that everyone necessarily does, but some people do. Some people who find school and performance to be very important. Do not make studying absolutely everything, and do not make your grades absolutely everything, because that becomes detrimental. Detrimental. I can tell you that because that's something that I did the beginning of the semester. I just didn't really talk to anybody. I just kind of acted like nobody existed at this college. And I just spent my entire, and I mean my entire day studying. I'm not joking. My whole day. I didn't do anything else. And then, I was kind of sad during my days. I felt kind of lonely. So, of course, that ended up impacting, how I was paying attention in school. I wasn't very happy. So, make sure there's a balance. Once I realized that I was wrong and I just need to go and talk to some people and, make some friends and, go to some parties, something like that, things were a lot better. You have to be careful, though, because if you just go ahead and spend all of your time with everything but school, your grades are gonna stink. So don't do that. There needs to be a balance. And number 4, and I feel like this is one thing that I just did not think about the most, is that a lot of stuff in college, unlike high school, is pretty much just up to you. I assume that most of the people who are watching this right now, you're planning on going to college, but you're not going to be paying for it. Your parents are. Or financial aid, scholarships, something like that. But you're not going to be the one paying for it. It's not going to be coming out of your pocket. Your parents, in a lot of cases, most cases, are the ones with the payment plan they're the ones who handle all of that. So, although you'll be getting the emails reminding you, hey, this amount of your tuition is due on this day of the month. And you need to make sure that your parents know, that happened to me. I would get all these emails about, tuition, and I was like, oh, I better handle this. Your health forms, another thing, you need to take care of those. You need to make sure you get an appointment. You need to make sure you, get those health forms filled. It's not up to your parents anymore. It's up to you. And I feel like that was something I didn't really think about. And over the summer, I was just like, oh, I have to take care of all of this by myself. Because, you're the one with access to the account. You're the one who just handles everything because you're the student and you're an adult. And I feel like I don't really think about that. And then I was kind of like, can we go back to high school? But yeah, no, it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. It did overwhelm me at first. What? This thing's lying down. Hello. She's just gonna rest on my head. Just stay on top of things once they arise. Be prepared. Know that you're gonna have to deal with all this stuff like health forms, waiving school health insurance. It's a very new thing because with all of these formalities and whatnot, in a lot of cases, it's your parents who are handling all of that, and it's not you. But as soon as you get to college, you have to handle all of it all of a sudden. So just make sure that you stay on top of that. And number 5 is another thing that I really did not think about, and that I really did not think would happen to me, or that I would experience this in any way. It just wasn't something that popped into my head. In college, a lot of people leave. A lot of people drop out, a lot of people withdraw, a lot of people finish one semester and then don't come back the next semester. It happens all the time. And some of the people who do that just might be your friends, and they just might even be you. I had 2 very close friends and 2 people who were kind of in my friend group, but I wasn't really close to, leave. Like, one of them left in the middle of the semester, and the other 3 who I mentioned are not coming back the next semester, and I'm not gonna see them at school anymore. I'm gonna have to keep in touch with them outside of school, and it can be a very hard thing, but I feel like it was especially a shock to me because I was not prepared, since it was never something that happened in high school. People would never just leave high school because, you have to finish high school. So, and in a lot of cases, people just stay in the high school that they're in the beginning. It's also hard in college because everyone is a lot more farther away from each other. So if someone leaves, it's not like, oh yeah, I'll just drive to your house 5 minutes away from me. Sometimes some people are 40 minutes away, 40 hours away, I don't know. Maybe not 40 hours, but maybe a couple hours in most cases. It's like either a few hours or a lot of hours. But, it can be hard. And for me personally, it was hard because it wasn't something I was prepared for at all. As for handling your friends leaving, I've talked to other people who are in different colleges, and it happens in pretty much every college. People just leave. People lose touch with friends, maybe because they're leaving. As for keeping in touch with a friend, if you think it's worth it, if you think that they're close enough that you'd want to visit them, or they'd want to come visit you, or if you think that they're worth putting in the effort for, if they weren't that great of a friend, then I guess you could just drop them. I don't know. But yeah, just keep in touch. Get Snapchat. And have a streak. That's how I keep in touch with a lot of people. I just have streaks. It's how I keep in touch with people who were from my high school, who I don't go to school with anymore. It's a really great way to stay in touch, actually. I really like Snapchat. You can send pictures on Instagram Story, too, although nobody likes Instagram Story. I use it, but I never send pictures on it. Like, who does that? Does anyone do that? I don't know. Comment below if you use Instagram Story and let me know, because I feel like nobody sends pictures on it. People use it, but they don't send pictures. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Another thing, and this is actually something that I feel like I assumed from the beginning, but I feel like other people tend to think differently than I do, is that Greek life really isn't that big of a thing. I feel like frats and sororities are like a huge thing that people talk about, and they're like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be in one, or everyone wants to be in one. That's not the case, especially if you go to a public university like I do. There's all sorts of people there, and a lot of those people just aren't into the whole party scene, aren't into frats, aren't into sororities. I personally am not. I think they're kind of weird. No offense to anyone who's in them. If you like those, and that's cool. If you want to be in one, that's cool too. It's just that I personally am not about that, and if you're not about that either, hey, don't worry, it's not even a big thing in college, especially if you're in a public university. It can differ, of course, for all sorts of different universities. If your school's more of a party school, then yeah, maybe frats and sororities are a bigger deal. I get that not all frats and sororities are about partying. A lot of them are just about community service and studying up for certain classes. But yeah, either way, whether it's a sorority or fraternity for partying, the party scene in general, just frats and sororities in general, like about pretty much anything, whether it's partying, studying, community service, it's not a big deal. Like I personally don't have, I hardly have any friends who are in any or who really go to any parties. I have some who are big partiers. I have some friends who are like that. And believe it or not, people who are into the party scene and people who aren't, like, you can get along with all sorts of different people in college, I feel. Like in high school, I feel like they're like little groups, like the cool people, the nerds. I feel like in college, it's like everything can just very easily merge, and it's not any type of issue. So yeah, don't feel like Greek life's a big deal, because I personally have never ever felt left out or anything like that. And I'm not a big party person. I'm not big on Greek life or anything like that. What I want to leave off with is that there are a lot of resources in college. There's a lot you can do, whatnot. There's a real opportunity to have a great time and learn a lot. You just have to have that self initiative to take advantage of all of that. There's a lot of stuff available. You just, you gotta take advantage of it. You have to say, I'm gonna go to this meeting. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna go talk to this person. I'm gonna go do this and that. I was personally a commuter in college, and I will be next semester. And I know it can be hard, so I was thinking of making a video about that too, just my tips for people who are commuters for college. And yeah, so stay tuned for that if that's something you'd be interested in watching. And yeah, and for those of you who watched this video and are thinking of going to college, I hope you're successful in whatever you choose to do, whether or not you end up staying in college or going to college or anything like that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!